Welcome back to the AM Drive on Toronto Sports. We are joined by Jake Fox of the New York Riptide, and as seen on SportsCenter, we want to first let people know that if you want the best in National League lacrosse gear, got to go to Fanatics. Oh, good Lord. MikeandAaronDrive.com and do what, Aaron?
You got to click the F, Mike.
That's right. Click the F, go to Fanatics using MikeandAaronDrive.com. Jake, what's going on? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Thanks for having me today.
Cheers. Thank you for coming aboard. Absolutely.
That polo and that hat. Holy cow.
That cool. Is the one that everyone loves. Everyone loves that seafoam green, right?
Yeah, as I say, that looks pretty awesome. It's popping right through on there too. It's a good looking color, good looking logo.
I appreciate that. No, I think they did a good job with that.
That was on the. Weren't you wearing that goal? Weren't you wearing that jersey for the goal?
Yeah, so we were wearing special. It was Hero Night, so we were commemorating a bunch of the first responders, nurses, and everyone who's done a bunch of work during these rough times. So we had a nice kind of like seafoam green scrub jersey
that's awesome.
we're wearing that are actually being auctioned off right now. So yeah, so you can go find those. You can all the players have their own jersey there. You can. You can go, I believe, if you go to the New York Riptide website, there should be a link there that will send you to the auction. I think there's about 14 days left that you can bid on some jerseys.
Oh, I hope yours hasn't been taken yet. Holy cow.
Oh, you might be fighting with my family for mine.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
If he's gonna lose, he needs to lose a family. That's fair. That's totally okay.
Absolutely.
Jake, I want to first get into this because let's just rewind a few years. I know I looked it up. I believe we're both the same age, which is kind of cool. But a few years back, you're getting into lacrosse. I want to know when, how, and why did that all happen?
Yeah, so I'm from Ottawa, Canada. Not exactly your premier lacrosse hotbed, but a growing area. And at the time, I believe I was like 7, maybe 8. And my brother, who's about 3-4 years younger than me, he's a January birthday. So he's got that terrible cutoff date. But when you're like 3, like you can't really do organized sports yet, except for lacrosse. So my family just kind of threw us both into lacrosse because that's the only sport my younger brother could play. And, fast forward 15 years and, a lot of car trips, a lot of hours spent traveling, and a lot of money my family put into this. And, now luckily I get to be here, and now I get to talk to you guys, and it all comes full circle, right?
And you're going to throw a web gem in there as well, too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Web gem.
that's kind of surreal.
The web gem kind of works given the lacrosse stick and the way it's webbed. And it kind of worked there, Mike. Nice.
What? Pun intended, right? Jake, I want Aaron to ask this fan question before we get to your Riptide days, because this happened kind of early.
Yep.
Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, I learned this watching you guys play, and I've spent a few moments in the Nassau Coliseum, and family I have that's grown up Islanders fans as well. What's it like to play, in the old Nassau Coliseum? I know the Islanders have moved on, but that's a pretty big building, and it's got a lot of history in it for sure.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. Especially when you walk into the building where we go, you get to see all these photos on the walls as you walk to the locker room of Islander Stanley Cup victories. People who have performed there dating back to like the 60s, where you see some unbelievable bands and some, like, you got Michael Jackson on the wall and a whole bunch of people, right? Wow. It's really cool seeing that stuff. And then looking up in the rafters. Now, granted, they're a little more bare that the Islanders took all their, banners with them to the new arena, but it's still cool. You get to see all the old net stuff up there. There's a lot of cool history surrounding that building, and obviously being from Canada and growing up watching hockey, my dad, watching hockey back in the day and seeing those Islanders teams that won the cup, and kind of bringing back some old Islander colors with our jerseys,
right?
A little bit, yeah.
Incorporating all that. It's cool. I'm a Leafs fan, so, I try to keep that, I'll cheer for the Islanders, except when we got the Leafs on one-on-one, but, it's definitely cool. It's a historic building that, it's almost that perfect size, I feel like, for that lacrosse atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. It's like, well, that's what the Riptide are here for. I mean, like, to create more banners.
Yeah, no, hopefully we'll get a few up there, right?
That's right. So, the Riptide, obviously, you guys are 1-5 in the season, but you just went toe-to-toe and you had a good game yourself with 3 goals and an assist. You took a team to overtime, which is undefeated in the Buffalo Bandits. How you feeling? That's got to give some confidence. No moral victories. Look, give me just a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's tough because that's a game that kind of slips through your fingers, right?
Right.
You're up late in the end of a game, and it sucks the way the game ended. But as much as we want to say no moral victories, this team has drastically changed from year 1 to year 2, right? I know there's 2.5, 3 years almost between year 1, the start of year 1 and the start of year 2 for us, but we've done our ownership and our management has done a great job of building, a competing team. If you look at our record, we're 1-5. We could very easily be 3-3 or 4-2.
Right.
2 overtime losses. Most, we've lost our games, for the most part within a couple goals. We're competing. We're right there at the cusp, and I think that's kind of the message going through is that we can hang with anybody, and we can beat anybody. Once that full 60 minutes kind of comes into the game, then things will develop from there. But no, I don't think. I think it's obviously it sucks, but we also have a short turnaround this week, right? We're right back at it Friday,
Right.
so it's kind of one of those things where you learn and then grow, and hopefully we bring that momentum into our game on Friday and give Halifax a good run.
Say Thunderbirds ain't no slouches either.
No, it's a good back-to-back game for us.
Hey, I'm digging it.
Yeah.
So of those 3 goals, we have to get to the elephant in the room here, which is how I found out who you were, and Travis I knew sooner. I want to know what goes through your mind. Like, is that talked about before the game? But the way that goalie, I felt so sorry for him. He had no clue.
Never
even
stood
on
a
the video.
chance.
There's no clue what was going on. And you're like celebrating. Take me through that.
So I won't speak a bad word about Matt and Vino, their goalie. If you
Right.
don't know, he's the most decorated goalie in NL history. He holds every goalie record there is. I've been fortunate enough to play on a couple championship teams in Peterborough with Vino, and I've known him for a while. It's one of those things. I hate to say it, but he's a goalie where that's a lucky goal, right? It's late in the shot clock. I'm somehow wrapped around a guy. End up behind the net. Need to get a shot off. It's one of those things you just kind of let your instincts take over. And I got lucky, and I think you can tell from my reaction after the goal that I was like, it was one of those things. I was just like, wait, how'd that go in?
Channeled your inner Trevor Zegras there with the little Michigan style goal.
Exactly.
It's still incredible, and obviously the publicity that you got from that being on SportsCenter and everything. Have people been reaching out to you? I mean, obviously we did, but I'm sure family members and more have been kind of giving you the attaboy on social media and text messages, right?
Yeah, no, it's been cool. I've had the phone's been very active for that 24 hours. I was actually in the airport flying home, and I got a text from my dad. Well, I just got a message saying you're number 1. I was like, I called him, and I was like, this is BS.
What?
There's no way. Like, you're lying to me. He's like, let me look, and he found it, and yeah, it was cool. A bunch of people reached out, a bunch of people shared it. One of those things where, I grew up in the era of, and you guys can probably attest to this, we grew up in the era of, the top 10 was the one thing you wanted to see.
Oh, yeah.
Day. You woke up every morning, right? And, you would wait till, if you had to leave at 8, you weren't leaving till 8 o'clock because it's 7:52 or whatever it was. You sat down to watch the top 10. So yeah, nostalgic wise, that's incredible, right? It makes you feel great. It makes you excited. Something definitely I won't forget. It'll be something I'll hold on to forever. But it's also one of those things where it's a one-day thing. It's over. We've got a lot of season left, and I'm focused on Halifax coming up this Friday.
Yeah.
What do you expect to get from Halifax, and how do you guys expect to handle a team like this who's 3-1? And you don't want to give away too much of your game plan, but how do you expect to adjust to this game, and what they can throw at you. How can you guys get the W against Halifax?
Yeah, no, they're a strong team. Obviously, they're 3-1 for a reason. They've got a very strong back end, and they're one of those teams where you can kind of play the name game with them, with some of the stars that are on that team, right? Realistically, I think it becomes not more so of a you versus me, but a me versus me kind of mentality. I think we've proven that we compete with every team in this league. We're not some slouch that's going to be pushed over. And you know what? If we focus on us and focus on the stuff that we need to do to be successful, that's the most important thing, right? We understand what Halifax has. We understand, the level of compete those players have, and the success a lot of those guys have had now and in the past. And it's just coming into the game, playing the best we can, giving them all we got, and the chips will fall where they may, and hopefully we come out on top. And that's the plan that we want to do. We want to win, right?
Oh yeah,
of course, yeah, absolutely.
Just win, baby.
That's exactly it.
Right. I have a question about So on our graphic, I had that you were 2018 Man Cup champion.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies told me that's the oldest lacrosse trophy there is.
Yeah.
You're like 21, 22 then. How does that feel? A year before you're drafted into the NLL, you got this puppy on your hands.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I'm 25, and in 2016, 17, 18, I was fortunate enough to get to play with the senior Peterborough Lakers team.
Wow.
That is basically an all-star team. During my time with that team, I've played with Sean Evans, Mark Steinhaus, John Grant Jr., Matt Vink, Evan Kirk, basically any player you can consider an all, Andrew Suter. The list goes on and on. Like, it's an all-star lineup. So starting in junior, I got to be a call-up, and then I was once my junior career was over, I was able to play a role on the team, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of that Man Cup team. It was super cool. We won it in Peterborough, so hometown victory. It's something you don't forget, obviously. Anytime you get to win a championship like that. I wish I had a Minto Cup, the junior championship. In my opinion, that's a little more prestigious. You only get 5 years to win that, but no, it's one of those things. Again, anytime you win a championship, you remember it, and you remember, not so much the on-floor stuff, but the off-floor stuff and your teammates and stuff like that. And the guys on that team were incredible to me. They taught me a lot. I was still young, hadn't started playing pro yet, and they're able to guide me into what pros was going to be like and give me opportunity to play at that level before I even got there. So I'm extremely thankful to all those guys on that team and being a part of that championship team.
How much does playing with Callum, Crawford, and Jeff Teet help you?
It's awesome. I've known Callum for a while. Callum was actually my mentor growing up. We're from the same area. Wow. There's a 10-year difference. So he was the first guy. Him and his brother were the first guy to teach me how to set a pick and roll. My family and him started a travel lacrosse program in Ottawa together called Ottawa Capitals that we're still doing. Callum has moved on to another program in Oklahoma, but still remains close with us. And then I actually played with Jeff in high school. So we went to the Hill Academy together. So I've known Jeff for a little while as well. And, he's always been that incredible, phenomenal next generational talent since I met him. Right. I mean, Jeff Teet's been, whenever you get to play with him, you really get to see the benefits of just how good of a player. And you sometimes get caught in like awe on the floor. There's a goal standing behind the net. It was a couple weeks ago, and he kind of spun between the two players and scored. And I was just standing behind the net, and I forgot I was playing. I thought I was in the crowd. I was just watching it happen. I was just like, that was
get caught watching the ball.
Exactly. It was incredible, right? But you get caught in those moments sometimes. But I mean, both of them are great guys, really down to earth, humble guys who really just want to win, right? And they're working to win.
Wow.
Right? It's incredible.
Aaron, why don't you go on and take us home with Jake here?
All right. Well, before we do wrap it up, I first want to say, obviously, this has been such an awesome treat and a pleasure to get on and talk with you. But I can't let you off without a Super Bowl prediction.
Oh?
See, the last meaningful Super Bowl prediction I gave, Colts beat my Bears, and I was miserable.
Oh, sweet! That was my first one.
Start the game with an opening kickoff touchdown from Devin Hester, and it just goes downhill
nice.
from there. Thanks, Peyton Manning. But this year, I want Joe Burrow. I do. I feel like that's the typical answer. I feel like, as much as Matt Stafford had to, die away in Detroit and now has got his opportunity to come back and play for LA, and now is playing for it, he was still on Detroit. So I can't really cheer for him.
Right.
So
Totally fair.
Joe Burrow, the LSU faithful have another one. They need it after the year they just had in losing Coach O, right? So
yeah.
And but you know what? Between Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow, I feel like there's no wrong answers in this one. So I can get down with that. So tell us, obviously your Twitter handle is right there, JDFLAX18 on the Twitters, or anywhere else we can find you here on the social medias.
Anything you go, Instagram, Twitter, I'll even throw it out there just because the fellas will love it. My TikTok, it's all JDF. Just throw it on there. You're not gonna find me shaking my butt and dancing and stuff like that. It's all lacrosse stuff. I ain't dancing, but
right.
It's all not yet. He's not.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's by popular demand.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
that's cool.
Well, Jake, once again, this was such an awesome experience for us. We're so happy that you came aboard, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule. And go Riptide.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Absolutely, go Riptide.
Much appreciate it.
Thanks,
all right.